Hello, everyone, and welcome into the post game of the #1 Tar Heels taking on the #4 Alabama Crimson Tide in the Sweet 16. The game is over with now, and North Carolina has officially been eliminated after an 89-87 loss to the Crimson Tide in Crypto.com Arena. Honestly, there's a lot to say about this game personally. First off, you want to give credit to Alabama. You know, this is a team that you knew came in. They could shoot the ball. We understood that. We understood they had some depth there. A lot of people were kind of talking at me about the defense and how the lack thereof for Alabama, considering that they've on a consistent basis, I think they averaged at like 80 points allowed per game. And everybody was kind of talking about their defense, it being so lackluster and things of that nature. But you know, considering if you watch this Alabama team, yes, this team can score, but if they want to, they do have the size and they can go out there and defend. And tonight they showed that. They showed that their depth, they showed an ability and the willingness to be able to change up the lineups. You know, they found a lineup that worked. Whatever worked at the time, that's what they threw at North Carolina. And they kept switching out and switching out and switching out until they finally found a lineup that just continuously kept working. And I felt like that was something North Carolina did not do throughout the course of the game. I felt like, to me, that North Carolina, especially like early when they went up 19-9, they had they were on a roll. They were rolling really well. But then the switch came when I think it was somebody went to the foul line. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Armando, but the switch came and we changed up. I felt like we changed up our lineup when we shouldn't have versus when we should have. And that's something we're all going to break down. But really quickly, I like to do stats first, get them out of the way, kind of talk about each team and how they did. So let's start off with Alabama right here. So almost had 4 players with 20-plus points. Nelson, he came in and he ended up dropping 24 points. He had 5 blocks, a steal, an assist, and 12 rebounds for Nelson. Great career game for him. Definitely a game I'm sure he's extremely proud of. And, if he's able to continue to build on that, Alabama can be pretty scary, especially as Mark Spears come out and scored 18 points, had 3 turnovers, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds as well. He shot 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 7 from the three-point line. Nelson shot 6 of 9 from the field and hit both of his three-point shots, 10 of 13 from the foul line for Nelson. Griffin had 19 points on an assist and 4 rebounds. He shot 2 of 4 from the line, 5 of 8 from the three-point line, and 6 of 12 total from the field. And their other guard, Estrada, had 19 points on a block, a steal, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. He was 1 of 4 from the three-point line and was really getting it going from the mid-range here. Hit 9 of 17 from the field total. But I felt like he did a really good job of getting into the mid-range and into the paint there and creating some great looks inside there, and just able to lay a couple in. A couple of them were tough. Got to give him credit there. He did a great job, man. I thought he was they're probably one of their best players all the way around, in my opinion. Even a little bit better than Nelson, in my opinion. I think Nelson's height, I kind of helped him out with a little bit of stuff, even though he made some great shots. Nothing to take away from him, but I felt like Estrada was maybe one of their better all-around players throughout the entire course of the game. But as a team, Alabama shot 32 of 67 from the field. That is good enough for 47.8%. They went 11 of 26 from the three-point line. That is 42.3%. And they hit 14 of 20 free throws. That is 70%. And over to North Carolina. Honestly, kind of very similar. 4 players that almost were up to 20 points. Those players were Harrison Ingram. He had 12 points on a block, 2 steals, 5 assists, and 9 rebounds. Thought it was a really good game from him. 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from the three-point line. Armando Bacot finishes with 19 points. This is the last game in a Tar Heel jersey, too. You hate to say it, but it's true. 19 points for him, had a block, 2 steals, 12 rebounds. He was 3 of 4 from the free throw line and 8 of 18 from the field. Elliot Cadeau, 8 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, had 2 rebounds and an assist. RJ Davis, even though he had a really slow start, did start getting going a little bit there in the second half. He finished with 16 points on 1 block, 2 steals, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, shot 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 0 of 9 from the three-point line, and 4 of 20 from the field. Bad night for him shooting, and it really hurt the team a lot. But Cormac Bryan, being the last guy, had 17 points. Really came out hot early in the early going against this team. We had 17 points, 2 steals, an assist, 5 rebounds, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 of 8 from the three-point line, and 5 of 10 total. As a team, North Carolina shot 30 of 78 from the field. That is good for 38.5%. 12 of 32 from the three-point line. That is good enough for 37.5%. And 15 of 17 from the free throw line. That is 88.2%. Well, now that all the stats are out of the way, we can finally talk about this game. What do I think? What happened? What went wrong? What is the primary reason for North Carolina's loss? Quite frankly, I don't have one. I don't have a primary reason they lost. The only thing to me that sticks out more than anything is in the first half, I thought Elliott and Seth Trimble played well. I really did. I thought Elliott was getting after it. They were taking, Alabama did a good job of keeping their offense moving. And this is something that I have consistently talked about throughout the season with this basketball team. Carolina has a tendency, and not every game, but you see it pretty consistently, where on offense, they run the same set over and over again instead of doing like Alabama did. So Alabama, we know, can shoot the 3 ball, right? Everybody knew that going into the game. They score on an average 90 points per game. That's their average right now. So obviously this team can score, right? But North Carolina is not a team to sneeze at when it comes to scoring either. But the biggest problem is Carolina's offenses move a lot. And why it doesn't, I don't know. Because when it moved tonight, especially right there in the later half of the game, when Carolina was down 5 and then come back on a 6-point swing and goes up 1, what was that offense doing? It was moving. It was making the defense have to work. They're making the opponent have to work. If you're not doing that, especially given the size that Alabama has, then the team's just going to be able to sit there and basically catch their breath. Hey, you're not making the same move each time. RJ Davis, high ball screen from Armando, or Harrison, generally from Armando. And Alabama had scouted that, knew that was going to be the case, and made it to where RJ Davis was not going to be able to get the edge on anybody who came to switch off on him. They made it to where RJ could not get around that ball or get around that screen at all without catching 1, if not 2 bodies. And after that happened, Carolina had no answer. They just start passing the ball around and start scrambling. And that's the biggest problem. I don't know why North Carolina would not get that offense moving, because when it did move, layups, dunks, wide open 3-point shots, the shots that you want, the chances at the basket that you want were there. So that is one thing that bothered me. I think that's, to me, one of the bigger things that I think about with North Carolina. And And the number two thing personally that I saw is, and I mentioned at the very beginning of this, the inability to change the lineup. And, I kind of saw a stat quickly before I started this, but Paxton Wojcik in the second half played a lot of minutes. You didn't see Elliot Cadeau or Seth Trimble for a long time, for a very long time. Your best guard defender, right? And a guy who's guarded people a little bit taller than him, that's for sure. We've saw it consistently throughout the season here. He's, easily their, your best defender. He sat on the bench for a while. Elliot Cadeau, a guy who helps initiate the offense a little bit, on the bench. I understand he's not an offensive threat, really, unless you're talking about finishing at the rim, but by God, yeah, he is. But maybe you get him out there to help initiate the offense, because RJ Davis, considering the type of night that he was having, and I give credit to North Carolina and saying, RJ Davis had that bad of a night and they stayed in this game. That's how close they are. That's how close they were. A couple of adjustments, and Carolina's probably walking out of this game with the win. And it's these things that I'm talking about are the adjustments I believe should have been made. Now, I'm not a coach. I'm just a fan. I'm just a guy that love, watching the sport. But I look at Alabama, and Bama threw whatever they could at North Carolina until they found something that worked. When something worked, they kept doing it until it didn't work anymore. And then they changed it up until they found something that worked. North Carolina, when they got in this stretch right here, especially in the second half, they stopped looking for answers and just said, okay, well, no matter what, we're going to keep going, keep doing the same things. And Alabama figured them out. It wasn't hard, because Nelson got down there, started being able to do whatever he wanted to do. And that was that. Just waiting for the final buzzer at that point. And then when RJ finally was able to get going a little bit, okay, he started to catch a spark, and he kept us right there in it. But by then it was already too late. They had the momentum. And then Jalen Withers, and I already see it, the Withers shot, I did not like at all. Now, is the Withers shot the reason we lost the game? No. But that shot at the very end of the game did not help us at all. Way too early in the shot clock. You didn't have to take that shot. I understand in his head, I'm wide open. Withers like, I've knocked this shot down plenty of times. I'm going to take it. Because, let's flip it on its head. If Withers hits that shot, we're not having this conversation. It's a bad shot. Oh, my God. We're not having that conversation. It's like, oh my God, Withers, big time three, here we go. But the problem, and no, it's not the reason that we lost the game. The things that I was mentioned that led to this, not getting back in transition, that was nothing that killed Carolina. North Carolina not getting back in transition, especially after, you score a basket, hey, that's great. Get right back on defense. Because that's one thing Alabama did do all night, is they kept the pressure on Carolina no matter what. If they scored, Alabama got in there and checked that ball in quick and got back out in transition. And a lot of times they got a good number of open threes on that. And that's something that they challenged them with. So you got to give Alabama credit there. But honestly, I think it's you look at it, it was the unwillingness to change when things were not working, coupled with, keeping some players off the court that needed to be on, especially Seth Trimble. And I'm happy with the bench play today. Washington came in, did good. I thought Withers played really well when he came in as well. And Withers came in and played well. Washington came in and played well. I thought Wojcik, and I like that Wojcik was in. I just don't think he should have been in as much as he was, unfortunately. But, I thought he was a good spark off the bench, and this team needed it. I do think they should have, continued to go to Cormac a little bit because Cormac was hot. Man, he was red hot. And I thought even Cormac, he caught the ball a couple of times. I thought he had a wide open shot at a three, and he kind of hesitated. I felt Armando was kind of hesitant a little bit with some of the looks he got down there in the post. Some turnovers early in the game kind of hurt Carolina, especially once they got up in that 10-point lead, the 19-9 run. So it's a lot of things are coupled to it, but Alabama's a good team. You can't say that Alabama's not. Everybody was kind of talking about their defense. I get that, but Alabama's a good basketball team, and they have a shot. If they go out there and continue to play defense like that and continue to run their offense like that, the Alabama Clemson game is going to be a very fun game to watch. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's going to be a tough matchup because both teams, in my opinion, are very, very similar. Very, very similar. And that's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm very excited to see how this thing goes, bro. I really am. So, anyway, sucks to see the season's ending, especially on that note. You would hope, in a different, not saying you have to go win the national championship or anything. It'd be great, obviously, to win the national championship, but you would hope you would go out in a better performance than that. Maybe a team to, like a UConn or something like that. Just throwing that out there in a blaze of glory, I guess that's just what I'm trying to say. But hey, great game, and congratulations to Alabama. It's all you can do, man. Congratulations to them. But a lot of things are coming afterwards. Got a lot of things to talk about. Probably going to do a UNC basketball like post-mortem, I guess you can say, show out of after everything's done and the dust is settled. Maybe even after the national championship game, we might even do it because I got some travels coming up this coming weekend, so I won't be here anytime. I'll be keeping an eye on it, and we'll see how the rest of this thing goes. We still got some more games tomorrow. We got Duke, NC State playing tomorrow. I honestly think both Duke and NC State are probably going home after tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. I don't know who to pull for. I guess I'll pull for Clemson because I'm not pulling for any of the other two ACC schools. So, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully, you all have enjoyed this. And it's been a great basketball season. I've had a lot of fun with you guys throughout the season, and hate the way it ended, but it's been absolutely fun. So, keep it locked to Hill Brothers. If you're new to the channel, be sure and hit that subscribe button and hang out with us. And get ready to enjoy some more stuff. We got football season starting up, and baseball is going pretty hot right now. I know they're getting ready to play Wake Forest. That'll be a fun game, or a fun series. So it'll be a good time, man. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, and as always, go Hills.
You don't want none.